But I just want to say really quickly, I'm excited that so many of you are here at the convention. There's so many really pressing issues that we need to understand and discuss and prepare to mobilize for all around the world. So many of us probably looked in shock in a kind of surreal feeling when we were demonstrating again in the streets against a possible new major invasion and bombing campaign in Iraq, a war that so many of us fought so hard to end. We see possible major confrontation on the horizon as the United States belligerently pushes towards Russia. There's actually a workshop in Ukraine if any of you are interested. But what I wanted to spend my short time talking about is the death toll in Gaza today is 771. 190 are children, 95 women, over 70 elders. That's the total, 771. A UN shelter was bombed recently, also killing 3 UN workers. I went to Gaza. I went to Gaza in 2009. We were part of a humanitarian aid convoy that had to illegally bring in supplies that were kept out by the blockade in the wake of Operation Cast, the last major massacre that we saw. The number one thing that we had to smuggle into that country speaks to the cruelty of this policy was wheelchairs. We had to bring in hundreds of wheelchairs because there were so many amputees. We hear 771 dead, but the wounded is in 1,000. So many amputees because of experimental and cruel weapons that were used that maimed so many. And the Israeli government, the blockade, wouldn't even allow wheelchairs for the children and the elderly who had their legs melted off by white phosphorus. You wouldn't meet a single person who didn't have a story of watching one of their loved ones killed. It was hard to meet people who didn't have scars from shrapnel. It was hard to see a building that didn't have pockmarks in it from explosions. It's our job to be there. It's our job to be in solidarity with the Palestinians. When all of these things that we were bringing in, wheelchairs, toys, a country that had been through so much, such a horror, such a slaughter, we asked them when we were in Egypt preparing to go in, what is it you want? What is it you need? What do you need most after going through something so devastating? And the Palestinians in Gaza said one thing. They said, we want solidarity. We want solidarity. That's all they said they wanted. Many of you have been in the streets giving that solidarity. In fact, raise your hand if you've been at any of the many demonstrations of thousands all across the country. That's wonderful. That's really great. I've been seeing them. They've been growing. Week after week, they've been getting larger and larger, composed of many young people who was at their first demonstration ever. And I'm proud to say that I bring this up because this is one of the most important things that we should be talking about during this conference. And I'm proud to say that the Veterans for Peace Board yesterday unanimously voted to endorse the major national mobilization, the March on the White House, to end the massacre in Gaza. And so I hope to see many of you on August 2nd in Washington, D.C. And I'll just end by saying that we're going to be there. One of the goals that we have on the board now, one of the reasons I wanted to come on the board is because we want to bring in a new generation into VFP. That generation, like me, the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans who feel a great solidarity with VFP, who have been marching and getting arrested with VFP, but who want to take the reins of VFP and continue it on to do important work for many more decades. And, there's... I don't know the official number, but there's around 40 post-9/11 veterans who have registered for this convention and who will be present at this convention. And how do we build that membership in VFP? We build membership like we do in anything. We do in struggle. We do it when we're fighting side by side in the streets. And so that's why we'll be mobilizing for a second. We'll see you there, and we'll continue fighting not just against the Israeli massacre in Gaza, which of course is tied in exactly to the U.S. plans for domination in the region and the entire world. We'll be there with you, and we hope to see all of you in the streets also.